Hi, this is Christine. So we're gonna do, this is a video to show you how to do the second alternate card for my paper pumpkin night that I did this month. So you'll have received an envelope with two white cards. So we've already done the first one. So this is the second one. You'll have a card base, which is started off as 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2, and then I cut it at 3 inches. So now we've got a piece that's 3 by 4 1/4. Then I've got Blackberry Bliss paper that I have cut at 4 1/2 by 3 1/4. So you've got a what is it, 1/8 border all the way around. And you've got a piece of Blackberry Bliss ribbon, which is retired, but I thought would work really well with this. So these are the pieces that you'll have in your envelope, and the rest will grab pieces from the kit. So I'm gonna set your card base aside and the Blackberry Bliss and the ribbon. We're gonna start with this small piece. So I want to use a couple elements from the kit. If you're doing the front of your, if you're doing the box as a gift and you're using these pieces to decorate your box, you don't need to use this exactly. But I'm going to use a butterfly, excuse me. And for the rest, I'm going to do some stamping. So I'm using my large Blackberry Bliss ink pad, but you have your ink spot in your kit. So I'm going to start with the larger butterfly from the butterflies. I really like these butterflies. They're very pretty. So I am going to put that just over here. And placement is, entirely up to you. These are just ideas to get the juices flowing. And I'm going to do the small butterfly as well. I've just got to decide where to put this one. I think I'll put it here. There we go. You can also use the splotches and add some splotches to this. Try not to overdo it. There's always ways to add, but it's impossible to take away, right? So I'm using a baby wipe to clean my stamps right now, and my fingers are quite purple. I just find with the really dark inks, sometimes it's easier. So now we need a sentiment. Now we've got 3 of these super long strips. If you're using one for your kit, you'll most likely use the English or French. So whichever one is left over, you can use for this card. And what we're going to do is use the back of it. So I'm just going to clean it up a little bit because there's little bits of paper sticking up. All right, and I'm actually going to use this half, so I've got the banner going that way, but you can use the banner going this way as well. It's entirely up to you. And actually, I'll need my snips. So I'm going to make a thank you card, but you could easily use the stamp set that we got with the kit to make a really pretty card with this as well. I'm just in need of thank yous these days and not as much of the others, so that's what I'm going to make. So this sentiment, like the other one, is from the Peaceful Moments stamp set, which is a sentiment stamp set that is all seasons except for Christmas, really. It's kind of got a little bit of everything, which is awesome. If you need a sentiment set, I recommend it. So now we've got our sentiment. I'm going to put the ink away before I get myself any dirtier. And I'm just going to cut my thank you. There we go. And I'll put, so you've still got a ton left here. So I'm just going to put that aside and use it for something else. Now, I want to show you a really cool trick that we can do. So again, we've got, I measured this, I think it's 56 inches of this ribbon. It's a lot. probably more than you need to do your box. So I've been using a little bit of it. Now I did give you this ribbon, which you can totally use, but I want to show you another option. That's just a tad bit more complicated, but super fun. So I've cut, how much did I cut here? 3 inches-ish, 3.5 inches. So not a lot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ruche it up underneath the thank you. So I'm going to put, let's see, about the size of this tag. So about 2 inches of double-sided tape. And I'm going to stick that right down here. And peel that up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my ribbon down, but you'll see how I'm scrunching it up. So if you want to try this, make sure you've got enough length. It turns out that I did not do enough length here, but I think it's okay. I'm going to unruche it just a bit because I scooshed it up too much. So I would say to cut double what you think you need, because when you start scrunching it up, it does, you're going to use more of it than you thought you might. There we go. So it still has that ruched effect. And I'm going to put the thank you on top with another piece of double-sided tape. So it just scrunches up that ribbon and kind of makes it look sort of, I think, fun. But before I do any more, I'm going to glue this piece to the Blackberry Bliss cardstock that I gave you. So I'm just using liquid glue to do this, and I put way too much, so I'm going to spread the love. And don't need a ton of glue, although I still put too much, but anyway, as long as it's not oozing out the sides, you're doing good. So I'm just centering this on over here. Sorry, I was making sure you could see what I was doing. Trying to center it on anyway. Now, if you don't have liquid glue, you can use whatever adhesive you have. So as I mentioned, I'm going to use the double-sided tape on the label as well. And it'll just squish everything down. If you're using the ribbon that I provided, you could use dimensionals and pop that up. There. So I'm going to use liquid glue to put this butterfly down. You can also use the dimensional, not the dimensionals, the glue dots that came with the kit. I'm being very teeny tiny little dabs on my butterfly here, just enough so that he stays down. Don't need a ton. And put him over here. There we go. And I'm just going to finish that off with a couple of these beautiful sequins. And then we're just going to glue this to the front of the card. So I'm lining it up just to kind of eyeball where I need to put the glue. You're only going to put the glue on this half that is on the card. Otherwise, you won't be able to open your card. So kind of got about a third that I want to put glue. Again, you don't need a ton. And yeah. And I'm just trying to center that on. I really like this layout because it's a fun fold, so it's a bit different, but it doesn't, you don't have any wasted paper left with it either. It kind of uses your whole half page. So, but it's a little bit different when you open it, which is fun. And it does stand up on its own really nicely. Then on the inside, you could add some more butterflies. On this side, you would never see them, so whatever you want to put there. In fact, let's put a few small ones. Since I've still got that out. I usually use a much smaller ink pad for, stamp block, sorry, for my really big butterflies. Make sure if you're using your full-size block that you're not getting a ton of ink on your block because it'll end up on your paper. And I have a ton of ink that I'm trying really hard not to put on my paper. There we go. That was a little stressful. All right. I'll have to give my blocks a good wash. I find this particular ink really gets all over the place, but that's okay. It cleans up nice after. Your stamps will be stained, but that's okay. They're clean. They're just gonna remain pink after using the Blackberry Bliss. And then you could add whatever sentiments you want to that. So that is our second alternate card of the month. I hope you like it, and please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.